Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take your sources, the ones you send us, and really pull out the key insights.
Yeah, basically giving you a shortcut to getting up to speed.
Exactly. And today, based on what you've shared, we are diving deep into Colleen Hoover's huge bestseller, Ugly Love.
Mhm.
And this is definitely not your typical sweet romance, is it?
No, not at all. It's pretty raw, actually. It gets into desire, sure, but also pain, trauma. It's heavy on the longing and grief, but, maybe some redemption, too.
It really tackles that fascinating challenge. Like, how do you even start a relationship when one person has this incredibly painful past they just won't talk about?
Right. We've all seen those emotional walls, haven't we? Maybe even put them up ourselves sometimes. This book just dives straight into that whole mess.
It really does. And it asks these fundamental questions, I think, that hit home for a lot of people. Like, can you really love someone who just refuses to let you in?
Yeah, totally shuts you out emotionally.
And, for people who've been through serious heartbreak, can that broken heart ever truly, genuinely heal?
And what makes Ugly Love so interesting, I think, is how Hoover tells the story. She uses this dual timeline structure. Masterfully, really.
Yeah.
Weaving together two love stories that feel incomplete on their own.
So you've got the present day through Tate Collins's eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've got the past 6 years earlier from Miles Archer's perspective.
Exactly. And that structure is so important because it kind of mirrors the mystery. You, the reader, are figuring things out right alongside Tate. You feel her confusion.
Let's introduce the players then. So, Tate Collins, she's a nursing student, early 20s, seems pretty pragmatic, not really looking for love or anything.
Right, she's just crashing with her brother for a bit.
Her brother is Corbin Collins, protective older brother, also an airline pilot.
And Corbin's best friend and fellow pilot is Miles Archer.
Mhm.
Mid-20s, attractive, magnetic,
Mhm.
but quiet, guarded.
Very guarded, completely shut off emotionally because of something in his past.
Yeah, you sense that immediately. There are a few other key people, too. There's Cap, the kind of wise old doorman in their building, adds a bit of grounding, sometimes humor. And then, crucial to the past timeline, there's Rachel, Miles's first love from high school.
Ah, Rachel. We hear her name early on.
Yes. And related to that past trauma, there's Clayton, a baby.
Right. Okay, so the story really kicks off with a bang, doesn't it? Tate moves into Corbin's apartment.
Her very first night there.
And she finds Miles, this guy she's never met, just drunk, slumped against the apartment door.
Yeah, and he's crying, muttering a woman's name.
Rachel.
Rachel. So right away, even in that kind of messy first meeting, Tate gets this sense of deep emotional scars.
It sets the tone perfectly, You immediately know there's a huge backstory there, something heavy.
Absolutely. It foreshadows the main conflict straight away. Miles is this appealing guy, but he's locked down tight.
And that conflict starts almost immediately, because despite those obvious warning signs, well, the physical chemistry between Tate and Miles is just undeniable.
Off the charts, apparently.
Yeah. So Miles, once he's sobered up, he lays down these infamous rules for whatever this thing between them is going to be.
Ah, the rules.
Rule 1, don't ask about my past. Rule 2, don't expect a future.
Oof. Clear boundaries. Or maybe walls.
Exactly. He wants something purely physical. No strings, no feelings. And Tate, well, she hesitates. But she thinks, okay, maybe I can handle this. I can keep it separate.
Which, of course, sets up immediate tension. Because can anyone really do that?
It's a big question. And his rules, they're like a fortress, aren't they? It's self-protection gone way overboard, maybe, to the point of isolation.
Definitely. And Tate thinks her pragmatism will see her through, but, well,
yeah,
her heart wants what it wants, right?
Yeah.
It's not that simple.
So to understand why Miles is like this, why the fortress is so high, the story jumps back 6 years earlier.
Yeah, we see him as a high school senior.
Yeah.
And he meets Rachel, the new girl next door.
And their connection is different.
Totally different. It's instant, it's innocent, pure first love kind of stuff, sneaking into each other's rooms, sharing secrets.
It's sweet, really sweet.
Yeah, and it's such a stark contrast to the Miles we see in the present. Back then, he was open, hopeful, totally invested. He was even a source of stability for Rachel, whose family life was a bit rough.
They were dreaming of a future together, real deep love.
And showing us that makes the present-day Miles and the reason for his change so much more tragic, really. You see, it was lost.
Okay, so back in the present timeline, Miles and Tate's physical arrangement is, let's say, intense, passionate.
Right. And Tate's trying to stick to the no emotions plan. She's telling herself she can do it.
But she starts seeing these little things, doesn't she? Tiny cracks in his armor.
Exactly. Like a tender moment here and an unguarded look there.
Even though he's still keeping his distance overall, like
Yeah.
never staying the night, shutting down personal questions. But those little glimpses, they make her start wanting more, even though she knows it breaks the rules.
And that creates this great tension for the reader too, right? Because you see those glimpses with her. You root for something more, but you also feel her frustration when he pulls back.
Yeah, it really throws that whole lust versus love thing into sharp relief. Can you have one without eventually wanting the other?
Especially when those little moments suggest there is more underneath.
Okay, so then we flash back again. Past timeline. Miles and Rachel's young love gets serious.
Yeah, after high school, things progress.
And Rachel gets pregnant.
Which is, scary for them. They're young.
Yeah.
But they decide they're going to face it together.
Miles is apparently really committed, wants to be the best dad. They're planning their future, genuinely happy about the baby.
And this part is so important because the book shows this as Miles' absolute peak happiness, like pure joy planning this family.
Which just sets up the fall even more dramatically.
Exactly. It shows us the Miles he was supposed to be, maybe, before everything changed.
Meanwhile, present-day Tate is finding this whole arrangement harder and harder. It's so one-sided.
She's falling for him, properly falling in love.
But every time she tries to, bridge that emotional gap, what does Miles do?
Retreats. Shuts down. Every single time.
There's this one night after they've been intimate, she pushes him a bit, asks him point blank why he's so closed off.
And his response?
Ice cold. Just reminds her of the rules. Don't ask, don't expect.
Ouch. It's gotta hurt.
Yeah. And Tate starts realizing the emotional toll this is taking. She agreed to the rules, but living them is something else entirely.
It really makes you think about self-preservation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
His rules are meant to protect him, but they're also causing so much pain, not just for her, but likely for him too. It's a lonely way to live.
Totally. At what point does protecting yourself just become isolating yourself?
A cage you built yourself.
And then this is the moment. The two timelines collide, the big reveal, the reason for the rules, the walls, everything.
Yeah, the moment the reader has been piecing together, kind of dreading.
We find out the devastating truth about Miles's past. So Rachel gives birth, a baby boy, Clayton.
And Miles is just pure joy, overwhelmed,
Yeah.
happiest moment of his life, bar none.
The book really emphasizes that peak happiness.
Yeah, Hoover builds it right up, that high point.
Yeah.
Only
for tragedy to strike just weeks later. Miles is driving. Rachel and baby Clayton are in the car.
And there's an accident. The car goes into a lake.
Oh, God.
Miles gets trapped. He tries desperately, but he can't get Clayton out of the submerged car in time.
And the baby drowns.
Yeah.
Just horrific.
Absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And that moment, that becomes the defining trauma for Miles.
Consumed by guilt.
Yeah.
Self-blame, just unbearable weight.
That's the origin story. That's why he shut down, why he made the vow.
And what happens with Rachel is crucial, too. She doesn't explicitly blame him, the book says.
Right.
But the grief between them is just too much, too heavy. She ends up moving away.
Telling him they can't heal together.
Which leaves Miles utterly alone. His love, his family, his future, all shattered. And that's when he makes that vow. Never to love again. Never risk that kind of pain.
Because he blames himself entirely. He thinks he caused it.
Exactly. It's not just grief. It's this profound, crippling guilt. So, back in the present, Tate is still trying to make this work, hide her feelings, but it's just crushing her.
The imbalance is too much.
And the final straw. It's brutal. After a night together, Miles actually calls her Rachel in his sleep.
Oh, no. That's devastating.
Yeah. Tate realizes she's basically competing with a ghost, a past he won't even talk about.
She tries to confront him, sort of indirectly.
Yeah, but he just shuts down again, completely. So finally, Tate hits her breaking point.
Good for her, in a way.
She tells him she can't do it anymore, ends the arrangement, tells him basically, stay away unless you can offer something real, something more than just the physical side.
And that action, Tate walking away, that's the catalyst, isn't it?
It has to be.
It forces Miles to actually face what he's been running from. Her demanding more pushes him out of that stagnant, grief-filled comfort zone.
It's a powerful moment for Tate, taking back control of her own emotional well-being.
Definitely.
And it works. Her leaving forces Miles to confront it. He realizes he does have feelings for Tate, deep ones. But the fear, It's kept him paralyzed.
He realizes that avoiding love hasn't actually spared him any pain. It's just made him incredibly lonely.
And he gets a little nudge from Cap, the doorman.
Cap, the voice of reason.
Yeah, Cap gives him some wise words, and Miles makes a huge decision. He decides to go see Rachel for the first time in 6 years.
Wow. That's a massive step, confronting the past head on.
And that visit is pivotal. Rachel, she's moved on, she's remarried, has a daughter, she greets him warmly.
Which must have been surprising, or maybe relieving.
Probably both. But the crucial part is what she tells him.
Yeah.
She says she doesn't blame him for Clayton's death at all. And she tells him holding on to all that guilt. It isn't honoring their son, it's just destroying Miles.
Wow, that's the key, isn't it? That forgiveness, not just hers maybe, but allowing him to start forgiving himself.
Absolutely. It's like this huge weight lifts. That conversation gives him the closure he's desperately needed for 6 long years. It unlocks him from that prison of guilt.
He couldn't have moved forward without that, really.
No way. So Miles goes back to Tate's apartment.
Okay, the big moment.
And he just lays it all out, tells her everything.
Yeah.
About Rachel, about Clayton, the accident, the vow he made.
Wow. The whole truth.
He admits he's terrified of losing someone again, terrified of that pain, but he says he doesn't want to live like that anymore.
He chooses differently.
He chooses Tate, he tells her he loves her,
Yeah.
and they reconcile. They start again, but this time on a foundation of honesty, openness, no more rules.
That's the catharsis, right?
Right.
His vulnerability is what finally allows for a real connection. Not just physical attraction, but actual emotional intimacy.
Yeah, showing that love means showing up even with the ugly, painful stuff. And the book wraps up with an epilogue. Miles and Tate are married. They're expecting their first child.
A powerful parallel to his past.
Exactly. He's facing fatherhood again, but this time, it's different. The fear isn't paralyzing him.
He's learned that love involves risk, that loss is possible.
Yeah, but that it's worth it anyway. Unequivocally worth the risk.
It's a really strong message about healing, isn't it? The scars are still there, maybe, but they don't have to define your whole life.
Definitely. And it shows that real connection needs that vulnerability, that emotional intimacy. It's not just about the passion.
So, yeah, ugly love, not a simple romance. It's really digging into the messy, painful side of love when it gets tangled up with profound grief.
But ultimately, the message feels hopeful, that love, despite the potential for pain, is worth risking opening your heart for.
It's about the courage to try again, maybe.
Yeah. So it makes you think, doesn't it? What kind of emotional rules, maybe unspoken ones, might you be setting for yourself in your own life, your own relationships?
Or what might it actually take to start dismantling some of those walls, to get to something deeper, more authentic?
Or even just thinking about how past hurts, maybe things we think we're over, might still be subtly steering our choices now, our fears.
Definitely something to mull over. A little something for your own deep dive.